Have you ever felt the quiet fragility of life pressing in? The subtle whisper that reminds you everything can change in an instant? Imagine the intricate systems within your body, the invisible currents of energy and balance that sustain every heartbeat, every breath, and every thought. Chronic kidney disease, or CKD, may seem like a distant medical term, but it is a profound reminder of how delicate our internal world truly is. When the kidneys begin to falter, the harmony of electrolytes, the sodium, potassium, and acid levels that orchestrate life itself, can shift in ways that are invisible yet deeply felt. Fatigue seeps into the bones, muscles grow weak, and the rhythm of the heart, the very symbol of life's continuity, can falter. Yet, within this quiet crisis lies a powerful lesson about awareness, resilience, and the necessity of conscious care. Life does not warn us with alarms. It whispers through small imbalances, through the creeping wear of neglect, through the unnoticed shifts that precede catastrophe. And in that whisper lies an opportunity, not only to prevent decline, but to reclaim control, to nurture the body as a temple and the mind as a vigilant steward. Dr. Mathew R. Weir teaches us that understanding the subtle interactions within our bodies is not merely a matter of science. It is a philosophy of self-respect, a call to honor the vessel that carries our spirit. Every measurement of sodium or potassium is more than a number. It is a mirror reflecting choices, habits, and attention to the unseen patterns that sustain life. The truth is that few of us consider the importance of these tiny charged particles until imbalance emerges in dramatic form. Imagine waking each day, feeling a heaviness in limbs, a weariness that no amount of coffee or motivation can lift. That heaviness is a signal, a silent plea from your body demanding that you listen. And yet, it is in this very listening, this active engagement with your own health, that the seed of empowerment is planted. Understanding CKD is not about fear. It is about awakening to reality, about recognizing that proactive care transforms vulnerability into strength. Picture your electrolytes as a symphony. When every note is in place, harmony flows effortlessly. When one note falters, the melody shifts, producing discord that can ripple through every system of your being. The question is, will you wait for discord to dominate, or will you learn to conduct the symphony with mindfulness and precision? There is power in observation, in monitoring, in valuing each subtle change before it escalates into danger. This is the philosophy that Dr. Mathew R. Weir instills. Awareness is the foundation of prevention, and knowledge becomes the instrument through which we reclaim control. Life's fragility is not meant to paralyze us. It is meant to awaken a deeper sense of responsibility for the one body we are entrusted with. By understanding the silent shifts in sodium, potassium, and acid levels, by acknowledging the signs of fatigue or arrhythmia, we take the first steps toward mastery of our own well-being. It is not an act of fear. It is an act of courage, a conscious commitment to life itself. Every day, our choices write the story of our internal health. Every meal, every habit, every moment of neglect or attention alters the narrative of our kidneys and the currents of electrolytes they regulate. And here lies the subtle, almost imperceptible beauty of self-care. It is invisible in the moment, but profound in its long-term effects. By cultivating awareness today, by embracing the wisdom that Dr. Mathew R. Weir shares, we do not merely prevent complications. We transform the act of living into a deliberate, empowered practice. Life, with all its uncertainties, offers a rare opportunity to turn knowledge into action, to see imbalance not as defeat but as guidance, and to engage with the miraculous complexity of our bodies with reverence and insight. There is a moment in every journey when the unseen forces within us confront our perception of control, when the fragile balance of life teeters and we are faced with a choice: surrender to fear or rise with clarity and courage. Chronic kidney disease is one of those moments, subtle at first, almost imperceptible, yet profound in its consequences. Imagine the quiet disruption of sodium levels, the gradual rise or fall of potassium, the slow drift of acids in the bloodstream, each shift like a shadow moving across the surface of a calm lake, unnoticed until the reflection itself begins to distort. It is in these distortions that life tests our attention, our commitment, and our willingness to engage with the reality of our own bodies. Many walk through life unaware of the silent signals, attributing fatigue to stress, weakness to aging, palpitations to anxiety, when in truth, the body is whispering its deepest needs. Herein lies the suspense, the moment where the ordinary can turn into the extraordinary. One day, a sudden arrhythmia may strike. A faint dizziness may hint at a dangerous imbalance. A persistent exhaustion may signal a crisis yet unseen. The tension is not in the illness itself, but in the unseen consequences of ignoring the subtle language of the body. And yet, within this tension lies tremendous power, the power of proactive awareness. Dr. Mathew R. Weir reminds us that life is not a passive experience. It is a series of choices guided by knowledge and mindfulness. When we understand the importance of electrolyte balance, we transform fear into actionable insight. Each measurement, each observation, each conscious adjustment in diet or lifestyle becomes a shield against the unpredictable forces that threaten our well-being. Consider the heart, that tireless engine, responding to the delicate currents of potassium and sodium. A minor disruption can create profound consequences. Yet through careful monitoring and conscious care, these dangers become manageable, almost entirely preventable. The suspense reaches its peak in the recognition that we often do not see the precipice until we are standing at its edge. But standing there is not the end, it is the awakening. There is immense courage in turning toward the challenge rather than away from it, in seeing the invisible imbalance and responding with precision, discipline, and wisdom. Awareness becomes a practice, a daily exercise in vigilance and respect for the intricate systems that sustain us. And in this practice, we find meaning. The understanding that our choices ripple through every cell, every heartbeat, every breath. Chronic kidney disease is not merely a medical condition. It is a teacher, a philosophical lens through which we learn the value of attentiveness, the necessity of discipline, and the extraordinary potential of preventive action. It whispers lessons of patience, the kind of patience that nurtures health rather than erodes it. The patience to monitor, to adjust, and to respond before the imbalance escalates into crisis. Dr. Mathew R. Weir emphasizes that empowerment comes from knowledge applied with intention. It is the active engagement with our own physiology that transforms vulnerability into resilience. And so, even amidst the suspense, even in the shadow of unseen danger, there is hope, clarity, and strength. Every symptom, every subtle change in energy or rhythm, is not a harbinger of defeat, but a signal to awaken, to rise, and to embrace responsibility for our own well-being. There is an almost sacred quality in this attentiveness, a philosophical beauty in the recognition that the body's complexity mirrors the complexity of life itself. Each electrolyte, each heartbeat, each measure of kidney function is a reflection of the delicate interplay of choice, awareness, and action. And within this reflection, we find a path forward. Not one dictated by fear, but guided by insight. Not one defined by limitations, but shaped by understanding. Not one of passive endurance, but of deliberate mastery. In this journey, the lessons of CKD transcend medical science and enter the realm of philosophy, reminding us that life's true power lies in perception, in attentiveness, and in the courage to act before imbalance dictates our fate. By embracing the teachings inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir, we see that health is not merely the absence of illness, but the presence of vigilance, knowledge, and conscious choice. Every day becomes an opportunity to monitor, to adjust, and to reclaim control. Every action we take, no matter how small, contributes to the symphony of life within us, ensuring that the harmony of electrolytes, the rhythm of the heart, and the vitality of the body continue unbroken. And as suspense gives way to understanding, we realize that the greatest victory is not over the disease itself, but over ignorance, neglect, and the illusions of invulnerability. Now, imagine a life where knowledge transforms fear into courage, where understanding the delicate balance within your body allows you to navigate challenges with confidence rather than uncertainty. Chronic kidney disease, with its invisible disruptions of sodium, potassium, and acid levels, need not be a sentence of helplessness or despair. It is instead a profound teacher, revealing that every choice, every conscious action can ripple through your body and reshape your destiny. The fatigue that once felt inevitable can be met with strategies to restore energy. The weakness in muscles can become a signal for intervention and care. The irregular heartbeat that loomed as a silent threat can be mitigated with vigilance, knowledge, and timely response. In embracing these lessons, we step into a life of empowerment, where our awareness becomes a shield, and our understanding becomes a tool for resilience. Dr. Mathew R. Weir inspires this philosophy not only through the study of medicine, but through a deeper appreciation of life itself, showing that the act of caring for the body is inseparable from the cultivation of wisdom, patience, and inner strength. It is here, in this intersection of knowledge and action, that we find the true essence of motivation. We learn that life's challenges are rarely abrupt. They begin subtly, as tiny shifts, unnoticed, until they have accumulated into something more serious. And yet, the power lies in noticing those shifts, in responding before the threat fully manifests, and in transforming potential adversity into an opportunity for growth. Every lab value, every change in energy, every subtle signal from your kidneys is a reminder that vigilance is not burden, but liberation. By embracing careful monitoring and proactive intervention, the shadows of uncertainty begin to recede, replaced by clarity, empowerment, and a profound respect for the intricate systems that sustain life. In this process, the suspense that once gripped the imagination, uncertainty about when imbalance might strike, fear of sudden fatigue or arrhythmia, dissolves into purpose and agency. We realize that every action matters, every choice counts, and every moment of awareness is an investment in the quality and longevity of life. Dr. Mathew R. Weir teaches that empowerment comes from knowledge applied with intention, and in the context of CKD, this knowledge translates into life-saving habits, conscious decision-making, and a philosophical embrace of responsibility. Life, with all its unpredictability, becomes a canvas for action rather than a landscape of passive suffering. We see that health is not simply the absence of disease, but the presence of deliberate care, the harmony achieved when the body's symphony of electrolytes and rhythms is respected, nurtured, and maintained. This understanding ignites a profound motivation to act, not out of fear of illness, but out of love for life and the recognition of our capacity to influence it. Every meal chosen with awareness, every habit adjusted with purpose, every observation made with attentiveness contributes to the larger picture of wellness. By cultivating these habits, by internalizing the lessons CKD offers, we step into a life defined not by limitations, but by informed empowerment, not by anxiety, but by deliberate action. The narrative of disease transforms into a narrative of mastery, where knowledge guides behavior and courage fuels persistence. And it is in this mastery that we find a deep philosophical resonance. Life is a reflection of attention and intention, and the body responds to both with precision and grace. Even in the face of invisible threats, we discover that understanding is a form of strength, that vigilance is a form of freedom, and that resilience is a skill cultivated through awareness and commitment. The story of CKD, of electrolyte imbalance, of fragile rhythms and subtle fatigue, becomes a story of triumph over ignorance, neglect, and inaction. And so, as you reflect on your own life, consider that each choice, each observation, each act of mindful care is an opportunity to align yourself with vitality, to honor the wisdom of your body, and to embrace the teachings inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir in a way that transforms fear into empowerment. Your journey toward health is not passive. It is a deliberate, conscious engagement with the miraculous complexity of life itself. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.